Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Peachy and this channel is all about my Sylvanian families collection. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you the latest scene that I've set up on my long display table, and the theme this time is the waterways of Sylvania. If you haven't seen one of these style of videos before from me, I do them periodically. In my Sylvanian room, I have a long and quite wide display table along the back wall, and I will use this on a rotating basis to do seasonal scenes, so Christmas, Easter, spring, summer, things like that. There's a playlist on my channel that has all the other big setups I've done. This is the latest one. It's kind of summery, but I realise it's come out a bit late since I got really busy, so it got delayed a little bit, but this was supposed to be the scene for summer, so late summer, early autumn. So let's take a look at the scene from left to right. I will take you through the buildings, accessories, sets, etc. that I've used, and also the story that is going on in the scene. Starting at the left at the back of the scene, we can see the lockkeeper's cottage. In my village, this is Captain Sea Dog's place of work, so it's not the Sea Dog family home, but it is where Captain Sea Dog spends all of his working days or time when he's not out on the water. This is his base of operations. It has all the necessities that he'd need, like a stove, somewhere to eat, a desk for him to fill out his paperwork and such. And then obviously it has his crow's nest on the top, his telescope, and all of the equipment for his work as watchman for the waterways, water safety, and his adventures as well. At this particular moment in time, we can see that he is cooking on the stove, so it looks like he's got a pot of tea on the go and also maybe some stew or soup or something in the pan. His son is also visiting. He's up on the balcony and he's having great fun looking at all the boats that are coming and going with the telescope. He's not quite tall enough to be able to reach the telescope though, so he has had to commandeer a basket so that he can stand on it to be able to see. Drake loves everything maritime, sea, canal, boats, so it's very likely that he will take over this job from his father one day. You can also see the table set with a cheese board and a little sweet treat, and the notebook is open. Captain Sea Dog is partway through completing a report. Then coming slightly forward, we can see Ingrid in her rowboat. She's looking over to the cottage and thinking maybe she'll stop in and say hello, have a chat with Captain Sea Dog and find out all the latest that's going on. She's particularly interested in the upcoming maritime forecast for the weekend, as she wants to be out on her boat again, but not if it's going to be inclement weather. And Captain Sea Dog is the best person to ask in the village about that kind of thing. Then moving along a little bit, and we'll go to the background. First, we can see Sylvania's abundant apple trees. So it's not quite harvest season, but the apples are coming through now. You can see there's plenty in the trees. On the left-hand side, or the left-hand picnic, we have the Biscuit Bears, all out in force as a family. They love a good picnic. They also love a good stroll or bike ride along the river. You can see the whole family is here. They're just unpacking their picnic. There's plenty more goodies in the picnic basket. Lloyd, who's the father, is chatting with Theo and Molly, probably about what's going on at school and whether they've got any club activities coming up. You can see the little twins, Emily and Emio, playing with their tricycle. Noah, however, is much more interested in what's going on in the picnic basket. She is helping her mother, Eleanor, get bits and bobs out, and she's probably sneaking a bite here and there as well. Then moving to the right picnic blanket, we have the Sunflower family and their adopted goldback son. They have been doing some apple picking, as you can see by the abundant crop of apples that they've got in their basket. They're now sitting down to enjoy the fruits of their labour, quite literally. Penny is discussing with Mickey how best to distribute them, and maybe that they should cut them up a little bit smaller for the triplets, since they're so tiny they probably can't handle a whole apple at this age. Sam and Nora are sat happily in their pram, waiting to be served their lunchtime snack. Upton, however, he's got himself out of that pram and he's on the way to that basket to get as many of those apples as he possibly can get his little paws on. Penny and Mickey haven't noticed. Father Toby has though, and he is about to grab him before those apples go everywhere. Coming forward, we have the beautiful Rose of Sylvania canal boat. I absolutely adore the colours and paintwork on this canal boat. In my village, this is the home, or the moving home, to the Van Dyke otter family, who you can see scattered throughout the boat. So let's start over here with the brother and sister. They're doing some fishing off the boat. It's probably not the best time to be fishing when the boat is moving, but it's going so slowly that they are actually managing to catch some fish. Brooke's in charge of the fishing rod and reeling them in, and Spring is in charge of getting them in the bucket. You can see she's just calling over to her brother, "Have you caught anything?" It looks like something's tugging on the line. Coming along a bit, we can see Flo poking her head out of the window, wondering what on earth Beaky has got himself into now. Beaky is a member of Captain Sea Dog's motley crew, as the villagers like to call them. They are seafaring scouts. They do lots of things to help people around the village, but mostly on boats. So they're frequent guests on the Van Dykes, learning all things about the boat while doing some bits and pieces to help out as well. Beaky, however, has managed to get himself into a bucket and is dangling over the side. This is obviously a concern for Flo, and she's trying to get him back in. His two crewmates up on the roof, Twitch and Murky. Twitch is the mouse and Murky is the beaver. They are helping out by putting some washing out onto the line, and they haven't noticed what Beaky's up to. Then at the back of the boat, we've got Ebb. He is the captain of the family and also the Rose of Sylvania. He is dutifully manning the rudder and making sure that everything is going to plan and they're going at the right speed, etc, etc. He's also very much enjoying the pleasant weather that they're having today. Lovely smooth water, making it some of the easiest conditions for him to captain the ship in. Then coming along again and back to the back of the scene, the big house that we can see here, it has a few different names. The particular edition I have is the Japanese version, and it's called the Big House with the Red Roof. It was known in the UK as Woodlands Lodge, the Tomy era version, and Primrose Lodge, the Flare era of the same building. All three editions are slightly different, but we won't go into that now. I do have a video on this house, so if you want to see it in more detail, I'll link that here. In my village, this house is owned by the Macavity cats, who you can see scattered kind of throughout the house and gardens. The Macavity cats and the Sandy cats are quite similar looking. In my village, they are cousins, so there are some Sandy cats around as well. Firstly, at the door, we can see the mother Cassandra, and she is waving off her son and daughter, Rumpus and Asparagus. They are off to have a walk along the river since the weather is so lovely. Then up on the balcony, we have the grandmother Laurette, and she is with one of the Sandy cat babies. So this is Scott Sandy. Scott just loves to watch all the goings on the river, so his grandma's keeping a close eye on him to make sure he doesn't get into any mischief or trouble, and they're watching the boats go by. Down in the kitchen, we have the older son, Mistopheles, and he is fixing up a snack for his little toddler sister, Skimble. It's quite fun. All of the Macavity cats are named after characters from the musical Cats, which is why they've got slightly eccentric names. Skimble's hungry, but it's between meal times, so he's getting her something, probably of the bread variety. That's what he looks like he's reaching for. His sister, Grisabella, is just poking her head through the door. They're about to start watching something on the television, so she's seeing if he's nearly ready to do that. Then if we look on the right side of the house, there is Grandfather Leo's garden or vegetable patch. He absolutely adores spending time out here. He's got his shed in the background and then his beloved veg patch with all his veg coming through. Etc. and Electra are out in the garden as well. They love to help. We use the term lightly. They're a little bit little to actually be helping, but they love to watch their grandpa potter around and play about with the vegetables that he's already picked out. And then in the garden on the left-hand side, we can see Amelia Sandy. She's just finished a morning shift down at the ice cream parlour, and the weather is so lovely, she has gone straight out into the garden. She hasn't even worried herself to change out of her uniform. She just wanted to get outside in the sun as quickly as possible. She's engrossed reading the latest copy of the Sylvanian newspaper, Sylvanian News, or Sylvanian Times, relaxing in the hammock and just having a lovely time. You'll see on the table she set herself out tea and cake to partake of in a minute. On her way back from the ice cream parlour, she did make time to stop into Mrs. Cakebread's village cake shop and pick up one of her delicious strawberry cream cakes, which she will be enjoying a little bit later on. Then coming forward to the final part of the scene, we have the pleasure boat, or the Marita May. This is owned by the Henry Lloyd Dalmatian family, who you can see throughout the boat. Ben is at the top driving the boat. He's got the wheel in hand and face forward, concentrating on keeping a safe distance from the Rose of Sylvania in front of him. Joining them today are a few members of the Sea Dog family, but we'll get to that in a minute. You can see Zach at the back of the deck. He is enjoying pineapple on a stick. He just always loves to have a snack in hand, especially when they're out on the sea or the river, but they're heading to the sea. Round the other side is his sister Sarah. She's also keeping a very close eye on how close the boat is getting to the Rose of Sylvania. She likes to think herself second in command, and she will not be afraid to shout directions at her father. Pippa is inside the boat. You can just see her there through the window. She's making some tea in the kitchen and will probably settle everyone in the living room shortly to have some tea and give Ben a little bit of a break from Sarah's commands. At the end of this stretch of water, the river kind of deviates. It goes off into a canal, which is probably where the Van Dykes are heading, and then it also branches off down into the sea, which is where the Henry Lloyds are heading. It's going to get a little bit tricky in a minute, and Ben will want to definitely be concentrating. Up next to Ben, we have the little baby Shanta. She's a member of the Sea Dog family, and she just loves feeling the breeze in her fur. So she's quite happily sitting there and just watching all around her and enjoying the weather. Suzanne Sea Dog, who is the sister, she is also enjoying playing second in command to Sarah. She's got her binoculars out and she is taking a good look at everything going on around them. And then at the back of the boat is Jane Sea Dog, Captain Sea Dog's wife. She is having a very brief chat with Leo Macavity as they're passing by, asking how his veg patch is doing, how the family is. It is a brief conversation though, as they are passing, not at high speed, but fast enough that it is just a passing conversation. She is also looking after the two fishing rods dangling off the back. They're planning to have a fish tea, so her job here is very important in making sure that they have the fish for that fish tea. So the conversation has distracted her from that, but only for a few moments. And that's the whole scene that I currently have set up. I'll just give you one more slow pan back over the whole thing. If there's anything that I've missed telling you what it is, an accessory or a set or something, let me know in the comments and I'll be happy to let you know what set something's from. But that's all for today's video. I hope you've enjoyed having a look at my latest scene with me. Let me know what you think in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye for now.